Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this specific video we are going to explore easyroads 3D Pro, and I have created a video on easyroads in past, but that video was not too much satisfactory, and students have a lot of questions regarding to bridges, tunnels and side objects. So in this updated version of this video we will learn about easyroads in details, and you can go to instant.blogspot.com. you can download this easyroads 3D Pro version if you want easyroads only, and we also have this HD roads add-on which will provide you some road types and the demo project as well. So this demo project I have imported it into Unity, and you will also download this demo project and you can import that project to Unity. So I'm using the version of 2019.4.3, and then let's go to scene. So let's create a new scene here, and we can name the scene as Easy Roads, and then we can just open the scene, and now we will just create a train. So let's go to 3D object, train, and now we have a nice train and we want to add texture on the train. Let's go to textures, edit train layer, create a layer, and we will find grass layer. So we can add some grass textures to the train, and now you can see we have a nice train here. So now let's explore the easyroads 3D. Whenever you will import easyroads 3D demo project, now we can right click here and we can go to 3D object, easyroads 3D, and new road. Now we will have this dialog. We will just click on this, yes, and again this dialog will be here for the side objects. We need the side objects, so we'll click on yes. This is for the road type, so we need road types, so let's click on yes, and now you will get your toolbox for the easy roads. Definitely if you will import the demo project, you will get a lot of side objects and a lot of road types as well. So with the basic easy roads, and easy roads are also available in a free version, you can actually create your side objects and road types by yourself. So now you can see that we have a road network, and on the right side we have this type of toolbox. The first icon here, if you will click here, you can see it is regarding to situations. So whatever we will do inside our scene, it will come here. The second tab is regarding to road type. So whenever we want to create a road, we can select our road type here. So for example, default road, and then we will click on new objects, and then we can start creating roads. One important thing is here that whenever we select a certain type here, you can see that we have road width, we also have layer, we also have material. We can't change these things here because these things are not set up here. So if for example, let's select this dirt path sand, and it has a road width of 4, and if you want to increase this width and you want to change the material of this path, what you will do, you can go to settings icon, and then you can go to road types, and then you can select road type, and for example dirt path sand, and then you can modify everything. You can modify the width of the road, you can change the resolution, you can even change the texture of that sand texture of the road, and you can add your custom materials or textures. So now this tab is for creating roads straightforward, and we will create our road in a while. The second tab is for crossings, so you can add X crossing, T crossing for the roads, and we have some other type of crossings as well, where we can create train territory crossing, we can train rail prefab as well, we have primary coastal areas, and we have some custom connection types as well. We can definitely create our own connections, but the scope of the video, and we are going to use everything which is available in the demo project, and we are not going to create our own custom objects. So if you want to learn about the custom objects and the custom side objects and custom road types, then please comment. I will make video on that. So now we have the build settings, and in build setting, whenever we will finalize our road, we can just go to build setting and we will build the train, and it will adapt the setting of the road, and train will be become accordingly with the road. So we will see this in action in a while. After that, we have this settings section where we have certain main settings like scene settings, road types, crossing, load groups, train management, import road data. If we click here scene settings, you can see we have indent, default surrounding. Whenever we create roads, these things will come there by default, and I will show you that in detail now in a while. And we also have some colors for the road sides and the road itself. While creating the roads, we can enable and disable these things as well. So we also have this road types, where we have the lot of road types here which are available actually in this tab. Okay, and we can actually modify these settings for certain road type. Here we can also create an own road type by pressing add a new road type, and then we can create our own road type, and we can set up the features related to that road type. After that, we have this crossing connection. If you click here, you can see we can name a new prefab, and then we can click on this, open the custom connection editor window, and we can set up our new connection prefab here. If we click here new connection prefab, if we go to source object, and then we can select our own model for the side object, and we can set up that side object in for the easy roads, but it is not in the this specific video. If you want this in detail, then please comment. So now we have LOD groups, level of detail group. We can enable this, and it will impact the mobile scenes. If you want to create roads for the mobile games, then it is really useful. You can create your own LOD levels, and you can modify the resolution and bounds of these levels. After that, we have train management, where we can back up the trains and restore the trains. We also have import road data. So if you want to create some real world roads, you can use OpenStreetMaps, and then you can get OSM file from OpenStreetMaps, and then you can use that OSM files to populate your roads. Also, you can get this the road structure, create the road structure, and then you can export or download that OSM file as well. We also have a KML import option, so you can import the KML file and you can populate your roads as well. After that, we have this icon which is for side objects, and we have various side objects here in the demo project. If you are not using demo project, then you will not find these side objects. Like here, when we select, you can see we have barriers, we have fences, we have walls, bridges, probes, train, miscellaneous, and in every section we have then custom objects here which we can use for our tracks. So it's a really useful side objects which we can use and apply to our roads and barriers as well. So let's start creating a road, and let's see how we can create nice roads in easy roads. So let's go to this tab, the second tab actually, and the first tab is for properties, when we will create our objects. So let's select this, and we will select the road type. So let's select the default road, and then we will click on add new object, and now you can see this message where we can press shift and click to add the markers. So let's press the shift and click, and you can see that we have a marker here. No road connection selected, sorry. So add a new object and shift click, like this we can create our road. Okay, so let's create simple road here. If you will zoom in, you will see that it is a nice road with nice textures. Okay, and you can see that we have this bluish area of the road, and this side white area, and this area here. Okay, so this is the area which is coming from this settings options and scene settings, and I showed you this thing: highlight selected area, indent, highlight surroundings. Okay, so we can create roads like this, but this is very useful thing. I will show you this in a while, that what is the use of these highlighted selected roads area. So if we want to join these two nodes, these two markers, we can select a marker and select the move tool, and we can just pick this marker from here, and we will just drop it here, and when the other marker is highlighted, then we can just leave it and it will connect the road. Okay, so now you can see that we have a nice track over here. At any time we can select any marker and we can move that marker. Okay, we can select multiple markers by pressing shift, and we can move these multiple markers. We can move these markers like right left. We can also move these markers in a height as well, and it will actually generate this mesh. So this is a very important thing which I will show you, that this indent area. So what happens is that if we build this train road, we will just go to this third setting and let's build the train, and now you can see this type of effect. So the influence area of the side area here, which you was seeing in whitish color, that is only straightened down, and the road has very little side area which is in the level of the road. So if you want to modify it, we can after building the train, we can move back to edit mode, and now if we modify this area, you will see the impact. So whenever we create road, we can go to this section and we will have these all settings here. So if we go to marker settings, you can see that we can select specific markers and we can modify their settings. So these markers are selected, and you can say in marker settings we have this left indent and right indent and surroundings. So let's increase the left indent, and you can see we have this type of indent here. Now we can also increase the surrounding like this. We can also increase the right indent. We can also increase the right surrounding like this. And now if we again go to build mode and build train, you can see this type of effect now. So it's quite smoother than before. Okay, so this technique is very useful for the hilly areas, so that we'll learn definitely on CERN. I will create a environment with easyroads and Gaia. That will be very interesting, and you should see that video to see that how we can create nice roads with easyroads. So now you can see that we can again click on back to edit, and we can move back to edit mode at any time. And then let's see some other options here. So for example, if we want to delete some marker here on this road, we can select that marker and we can press Shift R to remove that marker, and now you can see that marker is removed, and the road is straightened from this side. So we can place marker again at any time by pressing Shift I to insert the marker. We can add multiple markers, so Shift I, and you can see the marker is added here as well. So we can move this marker like this, and we can move like this. Okay, and we can actually play with our road, and we can modify our road like everything. Okay, so now we will just move back and let's see some other types of the road. So here let's create some other type like motorway 2x2, and click on add a new object. Let's press shift click, and you can see this type of nice road with the side objects as well, because this road contains the side objects, and also this road is two-way road, and that is a very nice road type. We can also move back and we can have like fence is actually the side object. So if you will select the fence and add a new object, then we can press shift click, and we can create side object like that. Okay, manually, but I will show you the best method and technique so that we can create side objects with the road side as well. So here you can see a lot of side road types which you can choose. RA road is also very nice type. So let's click on add new object, shift click, and you can see this type of nice road with the these trees as well. Okay, so this is very nice tool as well. So let's move further, and I will show you that how we can create cities roads. So as I told you that we can create some connection prefabs as well, and here you can see primary road crossings, secondary road crossings. We have also some other motorway ramps, etc. So let's select some crossing here like primary road crossing, and we can click here and we can press shift click here and click here and shift click, and you can see that we have this type of a primary road crossing. We can press shift click like this, and we can place these type of crossings like this. We can move further, and secondary road type crossing, shift click, and you can see this is secondary type of road crossing. We can move here, we can press motorway type, and we can press shift click, and you can see this type of nice tracking T crossing. We can select any other type like territory dirt grass maybe, and shift click, and you can see the crossing now, which is very simple type of crossing. We can move further, and we can use, for example, X crossing, and shift click, and it will add this type of nice X crossing, which is very nice for the especially the city roads. So now what we can do is that we have one more option for the and here we can create a city, for example quick city. So for that purpose, what we can do, we can enable the grids system. So if we go to scene settings, we have in seat settings, we also have this grid option, this grid control. So if we go to grid control and enable it, you can see nice grids here. Okay, so with this we can actually place our objects or crossings in a particular way, okay, in a proper structure. So for example, if you want to create roads for the cities, then you can select the grids, enable the grids, then we can go to T crossings, we can select the X crossing for example, and then press shift click here. We can place shift click here, we can place shift click here, and it will automatically assign the crossings in a proper way. So now what we can do, we can move further, and now we will just disable these grids because we don't need these grids now. And now what we can do, we can select any T crossing here. For example, just zoom in, for example this one, and let's select this one here, and then we drag it out and it will create a road from this point. Okay, and then we can join this road with this point, and now you can see that we have this road, but for some reason we have the material is missing from the road. Okay, so we can actually add the materials to the certain roads, and don't be worried about that. But here you can see that in scenes operations we have RA road 002, but for some reasons we have no material for this road. So if we go to settings, and if we move back to road types, and if we move back to our RA road, then you can see that we have this road material is missing from this area. Okay, so if we click here, and you any road material here, so I will just type here RA road, and I think we don't have RA road material for some reason, and we can actually pick our own materials here, and let's add it to the road, and it should be applied to the road, but for some reasons it's not applying to the road. But you can see that the process of creating city is simple. We can just drag drop the roads, and then with the new roads you can see now that the texture is coming out, and we can just join this area with, sorry, bring this thing to this point, and just we can connect this. Definitely it is not the road text we want, and we want the road RA road texture. So what we can do here is, the simple solution is that we can anytime we can just reconnect, or actually the we can delete certain roads point as well. So for example, if we select the this node, we can bring it out again, and now we can just disconnect this thing from here as well. Okay, and let's delete this point. Shift R and shift R, and it will delete the road, I hope so. So if now we can just delete this road as well. So shift R, and that's nice. So now we'll just go to our selected road, and we will select the RA road, and we will manually, for some reason we are getting the error of our roads. So let's create RA road again, but manually, and let's pick it like this, and then we can just join this area here and to this side as well. So similarly we can create RA road here as well. Add a new object, click, we can join this structure here, and then we can join this node out here. So in this way we can create complete city structure, and that will be beautiful. So let's select again RA road, add a new object, shift click. If you will lose these nodes, select the road network object in the hierarchy, and then you will find these markers again. Okay, sometimes we lose these markers, and shift click. Let's select this one, and let's select this one and bring it here. So let's add a car, and we want to test it out, that how these roads will look like. And sorry, I'll just place this car somewhere here maybe, and then we can just go to standard assets, and inside camera we can add multi-purpose camera, and let's play the game. And now we will have nice roads. Definitely you can create any type of crossings and any type of roads, and I showed you this way of creating roads, and you can see beautiful road here. And this is a city road, and we have this crossing. We can just move towards this side, and also you can see some here you can see some flags here for the crossings. Okay, so we have a nice road here, and you can see that building roads is so much easy with easy roads. So if we just go to road network again, and if we select the default road here, let's create an object. And if we if we select the road, and now if we want to create some crossing at this point, we can select this point to T crossing, and we can select the crossing like this. Okay, so now you can see primary road crossing is there. We can select this node, and we can bring like this roads like this. Okay, so for some reason the texture was not working for that RA road type junction, but here you can see that we can easily pick these points, and we can create this type of junctions. So we can press Shift I to insert some block here, maybe Shift I. So you can see we have this type of node, and we can actually move this node like this, and then we can place another road, and then we can join these 2 points as well. So for example, if we have some road, this road is the primary road 002. So let's select the primary road 002, where it is primary road. Okay, primary road 3.1 and 002. I don't know where it is. Okay, let's select this main primary road, because and then we will just press add a new object, and let's click like this. And then if we select this node, and if we join this node with this point, then we can just leave it here, and now you can see it will create this junction automatically. Okay, so these are various tools and with which we can easy roads, and we can create our city roads very easily. So now it's time to start move further, and let's see how we can add the side objects to the road. So let's create a road here. Let's create a new road, and press Shift click, Shift click, Shift click, Shift click, Shift click, and like this. And at this spot we can just join this section over here, and now we have this type of track. So now we have a lot of options here. So if we select this road, we can go to this first tab, and you can see that we have a lot of options here. So we also have sidewalks which are not available in demo project. We also have the side objects. So here you can see all type of side objects here, like barriers. So if we want to add some barriers, we can select this concrete barrier here, and you will see that nothing appear here. Okay, because we can just click on this arrow, and now we can enable this thing, and it will enable this barrier throughout the road. Okay, so now you can see this barrier is available for all the road. In this way we can add a lot of solid objects, like you can see concrete barrier. We have concrete barrier to left only. Okay, we have right only. We have guardrail rock. Here you can see we have a nice rock layer. Okay, and this is also very nice feature. We also have guardrail wood, and you will see this type of effect, that the guardrail is added to the middle of the road. Then how we can solve this issue? So the thing is that here you can see that this is the guardrail wood. If we can't modify that thing, the settings here inside this main section, we will move back to our this side object section, and we will select the guardrail here. Guardrail wood was selected. So now you can see that when we select the guardrail wood, you can see certain settings here. Important thing is that whenever we select some concrete barrier, for example, which we have selected for the road, here you can see that the auto generate option is not enabled. For some objects, like let's select this one, you can see auto option will be enabled for some objects, like maybe some other object. So yeah, it's not enabled for this as well. So for some objects it's enabled, and for some objects it's not enabled, the auto generate option. So when it is not enabled, then we can modify the settings by ourselves. So here you can see that we have this barriers, and we can actually enable the auto generate option if we want to do so. And we also have certain settings here in the control settings. So you can see position is relative to the center of the road. So if we place it to relative to left of the road, and if we click on update, you can see that now this rail is to the left side of the road. So we can actually add between the objects as well. So here you can see these are the objects. If we increase the distance, for example like this, update the scene, you can see that the objects are with a more distance than before, and you can decrease the distance as well. So these are certain features which are enabled in the main settings. So now here you can see that we also have a sync left right and option here, and average by road length is enabled, and if we enable the dual sided, and then if we enable the rotate 180 degree, then this will be added to the other side as well when we will select this road type. Okay, so this was the road wood barrier prefab. So here you can see alignment. We will not play with other settings, although we add the random X position here, so it is also useful. So for example, here you can see the barriers are added to the road itself. So if you want to add certain distance here, we can place minus, because we are playing with the left side, and we can add minus 0.5 maybe, and then we can update it, and you will see that okay, cut 0 and random X position, update. Yeah, now here we have to apply this. As you can see that now these barriers are a little bit away from the road. Okay, and we can actually add the randomness to these barriers as well. So here you can see the randomness is added with these barriers. Okay, and it will add a little bit realism to our barriers. Okay, so anyhow you can remove this randomness as well if you want to do so. So it's up to you. And at any time. Now if we update, you can see that this is not applied to the other side, although we have selected the dual side. So why this problem is because if we auto generate it and update active scenes instances, and now if we move back and then if we apply it again, then I think it should be enabled. So let's go to barriers. Let's select the other barrier, guard rail rock, you can see. And now if we select this rail wood and if we extend it, and default marker active state is enabled, and now you can see that barriers are added to the both sides. Okay, and although the prefab is little bit different for some reason, but you can see that it's now added to the both sides of the road. So these are certain ways to add the sides of the road. And we also have some fences. We can add the wall fence. Similarly, you can apply this fence to left and right from the settings, and here from now you can see this fence is added to the left. We also have fence boot camp. For some instances, you can see this is in the middle, and I already showed you that how to add this in the left side or right side. We also have fence chain link. We have this simple fence as well. We also have walls. We can enable this wall, coast rock wall, we can enable it as well. And you can see we can't see this wall over here because we are not on the hilly roads. So if you have the road on the hills, you will see this type of a wall around here with the roads, and it will look very nice. Okay, so let's select certain area and let's move this marker upward, and now you will see this wall. Although this wall texture is not good, so I think we should use some mountain wall maybe. And now you will see that this type of wall is added to the road side objects. So we have wall CC, we have some other type of walls as well. You can use walls as per your needs and as per our action. So we also have bridges, and before bridges I will explain other things, and in the last we will move back to bridges. So we have also the probes. So for example, let's add these probes here. We can add lamp posts, we can add traffic cones, lot of things are there. Okay, so we can play with these and we can add these things to our roads. We have the trains things, we can add bike tracks, we can add palm trees to the road, we can add palm tree track, we can add river surface to the roads, we can add lot of things like tunnel floor dirt can be added. In the miscellaneous we have a lot of other options, like for example shoulders. We can add road like this, which is very nice feature. We can have a walk bridge C like this. We can place it to the right or left, wherever we want, or we can actually, you can see this type of bridge is added throughout the road. And we can also add rocks. So for any type here, if we select the rocks, you can see that rocks are added. And if we move further here, you can see we have distance between objects. We can increase this. Okay, we can also randomize X position. So if we randomize this, you can see that we can place these rocks in a random way, and to the y-axis as well. So if we add the random y position, these rocks will be added randomly to the y position. Okay, so for every side objects you can use this type of techniques. So now in the last we will use the bridges. So for example, we want to add some bridge here in this area, so we'll select this node and let's select the bridge, simple, and let's click here and we'll just click on mark active, and you can see this type of bridge area. So now the problem is that when we will click on this build train option, you will see that the mesh will be created for this area as well, which we don't want. So how we can solve it? We will just move back, and when we will select the certain marker, okay, and we will just go to this main settings, and here inside the marker setting we have the option of no train deformation. So if we select this option, what will happen, the train deformation will be deleted from this side. You can see it deleted deformation here, and actually I will just move this section, sorry, this node little bit up like this, and let's select this one as well, okay. And now we will select the train deformation, we will delete the train deformation from here as well and here as well, okay. So now if we build the train, you will see that we will have a nice bridge here, okay. You can see a nice bridge here, okay. So this is a process of creating bridges in Easy Roads. So we have a lot of types of the bridges. So for example, here we can just move back to edit mode, and inside bridges side objects, sorry, we have other type of bridges, like we can also enable the cart track, okay. This is also a very nice side object actually, and if we move further, you can see this type of nice cart track here, okay, like this. We also have some motorway 2L bridge. If we click on active state, you will see actually nothing happens here because the source object is not selected, so for some reason, so we will not move in that detail. Train road available, we have concrete tunnel, we can add the concrete tunnel to our bridge, and here you can see we have this type of nice tunnel, okay, throughout the road, because we don't have any a region from where we can see the entrance of the train, so that's why we can't see that entrance. Although we have the rock tunnel as well, you can add rock tunnels as well, so this is very useful for the mountainous areas. And also we have motorway redirect, so here you can see this type of motorway bridges like this, okay. So you can see that we have very nice features with Easy Roads, and now finally I think you can understand everything, that we can create our roads here, we can do the settings here, we can make settings for the side objects here, and here we can work on the live marker settings and other things related to the our creations. So let's delete this road network, and I will just show you one more thing here which is important. So let's go again and let's create a new road network, and I will show you that on a single road how you can add multiple side objects and multiple effects, okay. So let's for example move back to our car, so let's zoom in, and let's start a road from here, okay. So now we'll just move back to road network, we will just select the road type, so let's select the motorway 2x2, add a new object. So So let's shift click like this, and actually this has the side objects already available, so I will just move back because I want to create side objects by ourselves, and I will show you the method. So let's move back to road network again. We will just start with the simple road. So here let's select the default road, add new object, click shift click okay, so shift click here, and let's create certain road network like this. Okay, so now the thing is that we want a bridge here, so let's select this one and this one. Let's move it here in here, and also this one. Sometimes we have problem with the markers and the alignment of the markers, so we can go to marker settings and we can actually adjust the positions of the markers and alignments as well. Okay, so you can play with these settings as well. So now here you can see that this area we want only the bridge, okay, and the other areas will be like this, and let's move here, and where is the markers? Okay, let's move mark a little bit up, this one. Okay, to solve this issue, although after building the train everything will be fine, but we want to create some dynamicity here, and I'll just move it back here. Okay, so now what we want is that we want to add certain side object from this point to maybe here somewhere, and I will just press shift I to add a marker here as well. Here to here we want some side objects, so what we can do, we can select this marker, and we will just go to this setting, and here we'll just come to the marker settings, and we will just insert I connector. Okay, so we'll just actually add a connection here. So what it will do, it will just disconnect this area and this area. Okay, so we'll select one connection here maybe, and let's go to markers and click insert I connector. That's great. And now if we select this point, okay, this area is only selected, and now if we go to side object, and let's add to miscellaneous maybe, and we can add some side objects. So let's go to maybe shoulder, and see the shoulder is added to this object, only this object. Okay, so now what we want is that we want to add certain marker from here to here. So we will select this point, and we will just go to marker settings. We'll just add I connector. We will select this area. Let's go to the side objects. Let's add to the barrier, and let's add a concrete barrier maybe here. And now you can see the concrete barrier is added only to this area. Now we will just move to the third point, and from here to here we want a bridge. So what we will do, we will select this point, we will go to the markers, and we will click on insert I connector. We will select this node, and we will just go to the side objects. We will just go to the bridges, add a simple bridge, and we have a nice bridge here. We will select a node, maybe this node, and we will just go to the markers again, insert eye connector, select this section. Let's go to the okay, let's move back to this road network, this selection. Let's go to the bridges, and let's add this concrete or maybe rock tunnel. Rock tunnel is beautiful, like this. Okay, and you can see a rock tunnel like this. Although you can see this type of bad effect here, but while creating mountains and other things, we can actually hide these things as well. And for the concrete tunnel, we also have this type of effect due to terrain deformation, so no problem, this is also good. So we can actually build the terrain, and we can create the mountains, and then in the mountains we can create this type of tunnel. Anyhow, this is fine, and I think if we zoom in, yeah, it will create problem here because it has this type of mesh inside the tunnel, which will create problem. So for now I will not create this tunnel. We will learn this in detail, and actually we can modify this side object as well in settings, but for instance I will just disable it, and let's add the motorway type settings. Okay, so yeah, and then we have this point from here to here, so we can just go to probes, and let's add maybe road markers are already added, so let's miscellaneous, and let's add a okay, let's add the rocks maybe, and yeah, that's good. And then after that we will just select this section, and I think till here maybe, so we'll just go to marker settings, insert eye connector. So let's select this area, and we'll just select the oval track section, but it has the texture is missing here. So if we click here, you can see the texture is missing, so we'll just select some parking separator. I think this is also good for as the trees are there, but add some other type of object. So let's go to probes, lampposts, okay, and also coral rock. And now in the last we will select the road network again, sorry, this one, and we'll just go to barriers again, and the quad rail is good. And that's okay. So now you have seen that on a single road we have created certain areas, and then we have built we have just modified that areas with the solid objects. One important thing is that whenever we create some road, we have this cam fly over, and what we can do, if we position it, we can start and we can check our road with this cam fly, and we can actually detect the problems on the road. Here you can see this is a real problem here. So the height of the road, although what will happen is that this point, yeah, actually this point is not connected with this. So yeah, now let's connect it, and now everything is fine. So let's play. Before playing, we will build the train. So let's go to build and build the train, and now if we play, let's see the road, and hopefully everything will be nice. So in this way you can create different type of roads for off-road, mountains. You can create roads for the cities as well, and I will create a video on Insert channel where we will create a environment for our game, and that will be very useful video. You can see that video, and then with that video you will get an idea how we can create some horizon type environments with and Gaia. So here you can see, after bridge we have side objects, then we have stones, then we have these lamp posts, and this type of side object. We have little problem here after building the train, so we can fix it. So here you can see we have this nice road, and then we have this type of side object which is good for the racing games. We can create this type of side object. That's great. And whenever you find some problem in your games areas, so here you can see that after building we have a problem, at which point I can't analyze now, but if you have problem, we can go to back to edit mode again, and then you can certain markers where you have problem, and then you can move that markers accordingly. That's it for this video. I hope you have now the understanding of easy roads in detail, and you can build your own roads in Unity. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.